What is going on? You are listening and, of course, watching Tags Live, aka Talk About Gay Sex, the live edition. Host Steve V. This is episode 376. Happy Pride Week here in NYC. Kodi Maurice Doggette. The hell are you doing?
Hello, darling. I'm doing wonderful. Happy Pride to you. I should have painted my nails. Oh my God, I just recognized it.
Oh my goodness. We will overlook that. Just keep your hands under the table. Don't be doing
That's
anything
right.
I wouldn't do, but that's okay. Right. It is Pride Week here in NYC, and boy, the windows are open and I can already hear the party starting. There's 900,000 parties going on this week and it's kind of insane. Starting with where I went last night, we just wanted to kind of give everyone a little update. I started my Pride this week last night with a singer who goes by Umi, UMI. Look her up. She is queer. She was in Brooklyn. She's tonight at Webster Hall. And oh my gosh, soulful artist. She's half Japanese, half Black, and queer. And the concert, I went by myself. I met you for a cocktail beforehand. I had so much fun dancing with the crew of people. It gave me life. It really was that spectacular. And if you get a chance, check her out, or by all means, look up her music. It's Umi, UMI. Check her out. But you, Kodi, after our cocktail, ran off to a party in Harlem, the legendary party. What can you tell us about it?
It was amazing. It was they revived Luke and Leroy. Luke and Leroy was a party back when I first moved to New York back in 2007. I don't know how long it went on for, but it was at the corner of Luke and Leroy Street, and it was it was for people of color and their and nature. It was good. The music was amazing, and I went with some of my really good friends, and I saw so many people that I knew back in the day. So I had a really great time. So shout out to Luke and Leroy.
Shout out to them. That sounds like so much fun. And I know the music was on point.
Oh my gosh, you should have been there. But I mean, you were having a great time with Umi, and I wish I could have been there.
Well, I think that's the thing about, we're going to talk a little bit about what Pride means to you. Actually, let's jump into that. What Pride means to you this year. Okay. Kodi, I'll start with it. What Pride means to me this year is a little bit about what you and I just experienced. You know, coming off of COVID, coming off of a broken ankle, coming off of not experiencing any Pride events in the last 2 years. Ooh, there was a loud truck over there on your end.
I know.
Well, that this year for me, you know, I think we always evolve, and this year really is about trying new things and getting I've experienced Pride in so many ways throughout the years. I'm not going to say my age once again, but I have experienced it in San Francisco, in LA when I lived in LA, and of course in New York City, and of course last week in Providence, Rhode Island. I experienced it there too. All amazing. I think what's different for me this year is I wanted to do something every day or all Pride Month I've experienced it. So I watched the Fire Island film on, I think it's Hulu. And it's a diverse Asian cast, which is really good. They're showing old FX Pride historical documentaries right now on Nat Geo, the Nat Geo network. Wow. If you catch it, I saw it when it first came out. It's really educational, but really fun and entertaining. I saw a Japanese Black queer female artist last night in Brooklyn, and I was by myself. I was living for it, having so much fun. You went to a Black legendary party that resurrected itself. So to me, it's about new experiences and where we are and moving forward. You know, your boyfriend redid our logo to incorporate. Unfortunately, it's not on the flag behind me for Pride or on your Pride flag, those of you listening. But as we all know, we've incorporated transgender and non-binary and the different colors to make it more representative. So I'm really excited about that. What does Pride mean for you this year?
Well, for me, pride is just being something just as simple as being able to walk down the street, holding my partner's hand and being
Which you
affectionate
have
with
a
him in
partner.
public. I know, right? It's so different for me this year as opposed to the years before. I've celebrated Pride just as long as you have, from the from the Cretaceous area.
What were we saying when the first
when
Jurassic
the
Park came out? And
That's
I'm way
right.
before that, honey. But yeah,
But yeah, just being able to walk down the street with him and hold his hand and kiss
I
him.
thought you were going to say
There
walk down the aisle.
Oh, see, I was thinking about that and I was like, I'm not including that in what pride means to me because we're not quite there yet. But once we get there, that will be for that year. But for this year, it's being affectionate and being able to have a partner because in places in the world, that's not a reality for them. Even in this country, it's still not safe for people. So I know that I'm privileged and I'm so proud of that.
I love that. We want to know what pride means to you. So drop it into the live audience message board and we'll read it throughout the show because this is our pride celebration. Cheers, Cody. I didn't even say cheers to you.
Oh, cheers.
Happy.
This is
Oh, there
tea
we
right
go.
now, but
Oh,
is it
okay.
is it
Happy
English?
tea. There you go. We'll do that. Your RuPaul
Cheers,
Drag
it's
Race.
RuPaul. Yeah.
I know you're moving on a little. I spent time with you this past weekend at Folsom East, and you were a trooper. You lost your voice,
Yep.
and you still came out, which I loved. But we told you do not do our Tuesday show, so that you can
Yeah.
rest up for today,
Thank
which
you.
is
I
super
needed
important.
that.
We
Yeah.
got to talk about music that is dropping this week, including Little Nas X, who has late to the Potty, dropping
Ooh,
on Friday. I think it's so brilliant that Little Nas X, Little Nas X represents who I would have thought of like Madonna back in the day, who would have dropped music right before Pride. But now we have a black gay male artist who's dropping music on the eve of New York Pride, which I think is fierce and I'm here for it. I cannot wait to add it to my mix.
likewise.
Madonna, who I just mentioned, has Finally Enough Love, the first of two parts of her CDs, albums, whatever you want to call them, digital downloads. And the first part starts this week, Thursday. And she is dropping, I believe it's 15 songs, remix songs of her iconic dance hits, all remixed, all ready to go. Super excited about that. She is
Love
performing
that.
somewhere elusively here in New York tomorrow. She keeps
Oh,
teasing it.
are
I
we
asked
invited?
I asked our co-host Lincoln, who's usually on it, and it's something cryptocurrency based. I don't know, women based, which I love,
Okay,
but I don't
fab.
know. So who knows? But she's performing tomorrow, and that's going to be great. We do have to talk about Beyonce, who dropped
Yes. Queen
"Break
B.
My Soul." I'm not even the biggest Beyonce fan, but I'm into "Break My Soul." It's got a house vibe. It's got Robin
Yes.
S in the background, and Little Frida is also
Big
on the
Frida.
Big Frida on the track. I don't know why I made her little. Big Frida. She is anything but love. I actually really love it. What are your thoughts on the music that's dropping right now?
So excited. I couldn't be happier. Everything that's coming out right now has such a gay undertones to it. Like Beyonce and Break My Soul has a house beat. It's something to vogue to. She's got Big Frida on the track. So I'm so excited. Even Drake in his album, people are saying that that is very
Oh, don't
has
start with him. No, that album, no. He wants to marry in the
no.
first dropped single, marry 23 women. And on top of that, his best man is Tristan. of the NBA player that
Tristan
is
Thompson?
Tristan Thompson, who we all
Oh,
know was with
him.
Khloe Kardashian. We're not going
Yeah.
to get into all that, y'all,
Yeah, I
but
know. We could go
no, I am not here for that
parlay.
album at all. No,
I
no, no, no,
I didn't
no.
download
Beyonce,
it. I don't
yes.
have it, but it
Yeah,
does
you
have
give us
a
a,
club
a
vibe to it.
constructive view of it later, but
Okay, darling.
he does not make our mix right now.
I love that. Yeah, I haven't downloaded it, and me and my boyfriend were talking about it earlier, and I was like, "Well, I don't normally feature Drake, so I'm waiting to download that one, but we'll see what happens."
Okay. Well, anyways, get into it. There's so much more, including Umi, who I talked about, who is a queer artist, and many more, really. So it's an exciting time. This is really, I think, our hot post vax summer in effect. And I'm in my post ankle summer. I'm in my just living life out loud. So I'm really excited. Well, we do have to get to one serious topic, but I think
Okay.
it's a good thing.
All
Once
right.
again, we're going to talk about monkeypox.
Oh,
Kodi,
okay.
you mentioned that there are rates in New Jersey that you
Yep.
noticed. You caught an article. I'm from San Francisco. A couple rates are up there as well. But some good news, I think the UK Health Security Agency says that a vaccine designed to protect against smallpox called Imvanex will help
Okay.
protect people who could be exposed to monkeypox. And the equivalent to the CDC in the UK, I think the WHO, is that
Hmm.
correct? Well, or
I
the
believe.
UK Health Security Agency is essentially recommending, it's not out yet, but they're recommending that those that feel that are sexually active get this vaccination that really is for smallpox but will protect you with monkeypox because it's in the same variant. And honestly, I am here for it because Kodi, I remember a time I was telling you offline, I it reminds me of meningitis. So when I went to a sex club a few years ago, I may have told the story before, but
Uh-huh.
distinctly remember going into a local sex club here late after hours, and there was a man on site that turned out to be a doctor, and they said, "Do you want to get a meningitis vaccination?" And I said, what? I'm here to get." The
Yeah.
D, but not a shot of that. I want a
Something
shot of
is.
something, but it wasn't that. And I was a little worried, like, I don't know. And they said meningitis is currently spreading in New York City. And it's
Okay.
one of those things that you can get that, if not treated in a timely manner, can affect your brain and can
Oh, wow.
really have detrimental lifelong effects towards you. You do not want to have that. And I got it. And it lasts for 3 to 5 years. And then I remember going to Folsom East here in New York, the same festival you and I went to the other
Yeah.
day.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
remember it several years later after that sex club incident. And I remember it was on another uprise. In other words, meningitis was on another uprise. And I sat there and got from this lovely nurse another vaccination of meningitis vaccination because I thought, I don't want to be another number that gets something like this. So if the UK is onto something, I think yes. If we don't want to stigmatize our community that it's a gay or a sexually transmitted disease,
Yep.
which it hasn't been known to be thus far, but we also so something like this could be a really good thing. Would you get this if you
Oh,
were
yes.
sexually active and
Not
in the
even that. You don't even
not
have to go
even you're
that
about to
far.
go after the show.
I know, right? I'm a running to get the monkeypox
Yeah.
vaccine because I don't want to get it. That's all it weighs down to. I'm
Yeah.
not.
Right.
I'm in a monogamous relationship right now,
Right.
and I couldn't be happier. But at the end of the day, I would like to protect myself as much as possible, so that I'm going to do what I need to do in order to be protected.
Right. So I think this is a good thing. I think the UK is onto something. Those of you, I will post this on TAGSPodcast.com, but keep in mind it has not rolled out. It's a suggested thing
Okay.
by the UK health authorities, but it is something that they're considering. And I think if it happens there, sometimes they're a little bit ahead of us here in the States. And I think it's a really good thing. Okay, well, we've got to move on because we've got
Yes.
95 topics to get to tonight,
At least. We have at least
including
95.
I think I'm going to paraphrase this next one because I just want to get
Okay.
to what you would do in this situation, what you have done. Sean
Okay.
Hayes, who we all love, Will and Grace, Jack, Just Jack, Jazz Hands Jack, was this week hosting Jimmy Kimmel. Well, Jimmy Kimmel has been on vacation and I have been living for it. He is such a good host. Well, he did this skit called the Fruit Fly app about an imaginary, I'm using air quotes, an imaginary app called Fruit Fly, because he's been taking flights recently. And he said, I've been on this small show you may or may not have heard of called Will and Grace. Okay, we all
Mhm.
have. And he tells the story on how he's gotten special perks like extra alcohol or little winks and nods from the LGBT gay crew on that flight. And so they do this skit, which I will post the video or look it up on Fruit Fly app by Sean Hayes. And essentially they do this whole skit where they're on a plane. I don't know if you watched it, Cody.
I did,
And
yeah. It's
it's
cute.
super funny. And essentially he gets all the perks where you would log on to Fruit Fly app and you would say, I'm on the JetBlue flight, and it would connect with the crew, the LGBT crew on
Mhm.
board, and they would see you, and then you would get certain perks like a blanket, extra bottles of alcohol. You needed an extra
This is
pillow?
what
No
I really want.
problem. And then the funniest thing is the woman who's straight hetero sitting next to Jack or Sean
Yeah,
Hayes is like, is that a tanning bed? And he's like, and he looks at her, yes, it is. And he gives her a dirty look like, but you can't have it. And
that's
it's
right.
so funny. And
Especially
then,
not during Pride Month.
especially not during Pride Month, it's so funny. You got to watch it on your own. But it does get me thinking, have you ever gotten special perks by the gay community on a flight? And what were they?
Oh, yes. Several times. I used to work for an airline and the cabin
What?
crew, yes, I used to work for the now defunct US Airways.
I
And
thought you were going
me
to say spirit, but okay.
No,
I'm glad
queen.
you didn't say that.
I I worked for US Airways. At first I was a gate personnel, and then I became
Gatekeeper.
a corporate trainer. Okay.
Okay, whatever that means.
And me and the cabin crew would always kiki. I would always get free things from them. Especially when I was on flights, I would get so much free liquor. They would gas us up, especially when I was with my best friend, and they would see two gays, and then it's double the trouble and double the fun. So they would just love us so much, and they would give us all the free things, earphones, alcohol, you name it. So
My
I love
most
it.
me too. The alcohol is the most prominent thing that comes to mind.
Oh
I
yeah.
remember I got like 2 bottles of cheap ass wine, but whatever. I took them. The flight attendant said, "Here, no one's using these," and I smuggled them into my bag, and it was like I got 2 free bottles of wine. But on a more recent flight, since I broke my ankle and I went home for Christmas, I was literally in crutches, and I
And
used
you
all
got
my
on first.
well, here's the thing. So I
Okay.
used all my points to get on business class because I knew
Oh, good.
I needed to raise my foot up. It was in that critical time, but I really wanted to see my family and I really wanted to go home at least for a couple days before I had to have surgery. And it was that horrible time. And I remember every gay flight attendant was doting on me. Do you need this? Do you need me to walk you to the bathroom? I'm
Oh.
like, you can come into the bathroom with me. And there was one
Okay,
really
my high
hot
club.
Filipino gay hot flight attendant that was really flirty with me. And I was convinced that if I would have said, "Should we go on a date?" He was like ready to meet me at my
Oh, he
next
would
and
have.
with my broken ankle. And I thought, okay, snaps to connecting with
Does
the
the
flight
dick work though?
attendant.
That's all he cares about.
The dick worked. Oh yeah, absolutely.
So that is he would have went on a date with you in 2 seconds. So
Yeah. The other crazy one I had was I remember going to Miami and I think I was staying by myself in an Airbnb and the flight attendant was flirty. He gave me a bunch of liquor, but at the end of it, he said, "Where are you going? Where are you spending?" I said, "Oh, I'm just going to an Airbnb." He's like, "Do you have a ride there?" And I said, No, I'm just guess I'll take an Uber. And he said,
uh-huh.
"If you wait for me, I'll give you a ride." And he met me and he had his car parked at MIA International Airport and drove me in his convertible into town. And he had his hand
Wow.
on my knee the whole
Talk about
ride, but he was
service.
really, I know, it actually was really sweet. He seemed a little sketchy, actually, to be honest, but
But you got in the car
but
anyway.
I got in the car anyway, and I thought, how long is this guy going to be on this airline and employed by this company? I don't know. It seemed a little crossing the boundaries, but I was here for it, and it was a lot of fun. And hey, it's part of my story. So
That's
work
right, and
it,
I'm glad you didn't get
y'all.
kidnapped. Thank
Well,
goodness.
yeah, no, absolutely not. No. Okay, well, we have got to move on to our next story, which is about deep fakes.
Yes,
Did you know what I meant when I said that in
I
our
did.
meeting? You did?
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
guys all know what deep fakes are? Well, they're essentially porn ads or porn actors doing the deed, whether it's jerking off or usually it's a solo, correct? Because it's a technological way
Mhm.
where they impose an actor, in this case, Chris Pratt, face on a guy with a huge dick jacking off. And I will post this on TAGSPodcast.com for you to watch for yourself. But the one that we're talking about shows Avenger Chris Pratt splooging for his computer webcam. First of all, did you believe it when you saw it? And secondly, are you here for it or are you not?
Chris Pratt wishes his dick was that big, so no, I did not believe it. But it was actually really scary because the deepfake was so good. It's almost indiscernible from the actual real Chris Pratt. It looks like him. But
Except when he put his head back.
you
To
think so?
me,
I
yeah, I
think
could see a
even still,
digital
it was
thing
pretty good.
happening when it would be like if I did this and you was like something going on with my jawline.
What was that again?
And it would be like, wait, what's that? And the eyes looked a little off when he pulled his head back like that. I don't know. I was not feeling it.
Well, I was
But
convinced the whole way through, and it really scared me because the implications, if they can fake something like this, and they can fake so many other things in my eyes.
yeah, I
They
wasn't
can make you robbing a bank or something like that, and that really scares me.
Yeah, I don't think they're quite there yet. I didn't believe the whole piece of it, the theatrical performance of it all in my highbrow experience. I didn't really believe it all. I just thought, and the other thing is, we all know it was a fake. They were telling us it was a fake, but I'm not here for that.
Yes.
I'm not here for it. I think I've seen Tom Cruise. They put Tom Cruise's face on the same type of thing. In general, I don't have that many crushes on that many actors. I tend to
Mhm.
like people within our community or people that I meet on the street or out and about more so, or porn stars or
Yeah.
OnlyFans sensations, rather than go down that rabbit hole of developing crushes on celebrities that I know I'm
Mhm.
never going to have a thing with. So I don't even go down there. So to me, it's not, and I don't want to watch another Chris Pratt film after I saw that and then like always think that. So I just think it's dumb and I don't believe it and it's not here for me. It's not my thing. Not at all.
Yeah. I see.
Uh,
I see what you're saying.
yeah, there was what else did you want to say about that? Is that all the only
Yeah,
thing,
that's all
the
I have
fake.
to say. Just basically that the implications are really scary for me. Also, I I was thinking about something that when as you were talking, and if they I forgot what I was gonna say. Just keep moving.
Okay, let's keep moving. I know. I had one more thought on that, and I can't remember what I was
I don't
gonna
remember what
say.
it was, but it's not. It must not be important.
There is a urologist who I just subscribed to, Dr. Stefan Buntrock, who is
Okay,
talking about how to measure your penis or your
he's
dick
really
or
funny,
your
by the way.
cock. He's really funny. You got to listen to it. I will post this on TAGSPodcast.com. He starts off the segment saying it's asparagus season again, which is hilarious because anybody that's a griller in summertime knows that asparagus are all about summertime. However, it's about asparagus and measuring your dick length. He's talking about the penis, how to properly measure your penis length and the girth, and the
Hmm.
misconceptions on how not to do it. So it's funny. You watched the video, you
Yes.
saw how he talked about how to measure it erect or flaccid.
Yep.
Come on now. We're all doing it erect, right?
I
For the
mean,
most part, when you're
there's no
writing
other reason to.
6 by 6, 8 by 7, 9 by 8, we are talking about erect and hard, right?
Exactly. If
So
somebody ever lists their flaccid measurements, I think that that person's a strange person, and I don't want to reach out to them. So, yeah,
exactly. He also keeps in growers, not showers in mind, which I really appreciate because I'm one of those in that category. Hands up on that.
me
He
too.
does talk about, yeah, measure on. So here's some tips that we're going to tell you that that Dr. Bantrock talks about. First of all, measure on the upper side, or as he calls it, the technical term, the dorsal side. So the top, if you look down that top part,
Wait,
and
wait. Do I have to get my ruler out for this? I have a
so,
special penis ruler that I measure my penis with. It
well,
starts at three
here's,
inches.
oh, you're giving yourself a little headway. Do you have it with you?
No, I'm joking. I was just it's in my other purse. Oh, damn it.
Well, here's the thing though. He says don't use a hard ruler of any sorts.
Okay.
Use a measuring tape like I
Oh, look
have
at you being
here.
prepared.
I think I'm going to stop it where I think mine falls at.
Less,
Yeah.
honey, less. Less than that. No,
Ah,
don't do it. Don't.
there we go. There we
No,
go. Somewhere around.
even less,
Ah,
honey.
no, honey, you don't know. Anyways,
I've
let
seen
me.
pictures, bitch.
Yeah, they are out there. We're going to talk about that in a little minute too. But here's the thing. Here's what he really use a measuring tape because as a hard ruler is, your dick is not. It curves, and you want to be able to give yourself the benefit of the doubt and move in a flexible manner.
Hmm?
Also, an interesting point to note, the more body fat, the smaller the penis appears.
I didn't know
But
that.
yeah. So, what you really want to do is what many people do, don't be going all the way below your ball sack or into your anal region. Find your pubic bone and really pull if you're have a little extra something going on there. Find the pubic bone and measure from that point on and all the way to the tip. That's where your actual length comes from. And do it while standing up, of course, because that's where you're going to get the most length that you get.
Yep.
Girth, when we talk about girth, my favorite topic, you want to do the middle of the penile shaft or the base. The tip is, as many experts in the urology department said, is not suitable. But the funny thing about this, Kodi, is
Hmm?
this is all fine and dandy. Well, let me get through the whole thing and then I'll tell you
Okay.
my thoughts on this. Room temperature matters.
Yep.
If it's a colder room, the smaller the penis. If you recently ejaculated, it may impact your length.
Yep.
And don't measure your penis at work, but at home, he says.
That was
And
so funny. He's so cute. It was such a
super
cute
cute.
skit. Yeah.
And by all means, have fun. Well, I love that. And the only thing that I would say is these are all great technical ways to measure it so that people aren't going out of control on when they really measure their dick. But it doesn't take into consideration if you have, say, a fat mushroom head, like I'm raising my
Oh.
hand right now.
Oh
That
my.
really can. No, I'm just saying
The picture
that
shouldn't
can.
reflect that.
Well, it doesn't do that. And you know how that a lot of people like that. And so I've often put that in there back in the day when I was really talking that instrument up.
Okay.
I'm talking about the saxophone, Kodi. No, I'm not. That when I'm talking that instrument up, I
Come on, Kenny G.
mention the fat head. And so yeah, I think that's important to measure to put into the mix. What were your
To
thoughts
take
when you
into
heard about
account.
this? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that these are all great tips. I learned a lot actually from this. I did know to measure from the pelvic bone because that's where the base of the penis actually is. But some things were really new to me, especially about the temperature. The temperature will affect how big your dick is. That's crazy to me.
Yes.
If you just ejaculated, it's crazy to me that all of these things. I must have been always measuring my penis when it's cold or after right after I come because it's 12 inches and I know it is. I know it's 12 inches in my heart, but the ruler says something
Mm-hmm.
different.
I love it. I love it. All right. Well, let us know what you're measuring. Somebody said, read one of the comments because I saw something there before we move on.
Blake says you could even try a fabric measuring tape because it's more flexible.
Oh, yes. That's even better. Good tip on that. Okay. Well, we love a good follow up. And one of our follow ups has I think it's our third week talking about the Burger King incident of the two tops burger and the two bottoms burger. Do the math in your head if you didn't hear the recent stories. But David S. wrote into us. Shout out to you, David S. And I know you're coming for me and Lincoln, but here for Kodi. He wrote, I live in the greater San Francisco Bay Area, and my work takes me right past the main campus entrance to Facebook. Well, this year, and as well as other years, Facebook covers their campus sign at the entry with a rainbow flag. This is the same Facebook which hosts right-wing fascist groups on that platform. Most of these groups want to make all gay activities illegal or even harm or kill us. While these groups don't actively do this on Facebook, you can be sure that Facebook knows the mission statements posted by them on other platforms.
Mhm.
Facebook uses the cover of free speech to allow them to propagate their networks while using their activity to secure ad revenues. And regarding Burger King, yeah, because I totally 100% agree with you. We don't even use our Facebook Tags podcast that much anymore. It's toxic to me. I don't really even go on Facebook. Do you, Kodi?
Yeah. Not really, especially
Yeah.
because they allow so much hate speech, so
Yeah. So
I
fuck
just
them 100%. No.
Well,
Well,
Facebook owns Instagram too, so
they do. Meta, as I guess is the real name. And I'm a little bit more, I like that platform better, but yeah. Burger King, he writes regarding Burger King, fuck them. The parent company supports industrial, agricultural, and makes significant contributions to right-wing politicians and think tanks that want to use gays to be a wedge in their political battles whose ultimate end game is to make money at our expense. So fuck the pride flag virtue signaling from corporate America. Kodi is right. There is
wait,
no
I
place.
didn't hear that part. I'm sorry, what?
You heard me. You heard me. Co-
Wait, you must have gone out for a second. I didn't hear you. You.
Cody's right there. But, but there is no place for the use of pride images by companies using it to monetize our family. Okay, I got through it. Thank you, David S. And we hear you loud and proud on this Pride season. Thank you very much. Anything you want to add to that, Kodi?
Yes, I need his number because it seems like he's in the know. All of this is public record, and you can Google all of the companies that donate to the GOP and far right and conservative things that are not for our community, so that you know where to put your money. It's not necessarily a definitive list of it's huge, number one.
Yeah.
So it's not a definitive list of because you wouldn't be spending your money anywhere, honestly, if you had a hard line somewhere. But it is a nice guidepost to use your buying power smartly and in the best interest of the gay community. So, and I was right.
According to David S. Absolutely.
According to
Yeah.
David S. Yes.
No, but I am 100% in agreement with him when it comes to Facebook. So
Yeah.
absolutely. And I agree. Corporate America comes around every year for our community. Unlike Skittles in this next story, which is super hilarious. An intern must run the Skittles social media. That's what one writer wrote. When or could have been fired, the brand's
Mhm.
official Twitter account was caught liking a very not suitable for work tweet from adult creator Chris Stone. Not the old Chris Stone, y'all, that I slept with back in the day, but there's a new
Oh
Chris Stone
my.
out there who posted a photo of his dick telling his followers to taste the rainbow while tagging Skittles. And after that, a rep from Skittles reposted it or liked it. And once
Mhm.
somebody had clocked that the image had been liked by the brand, they not so swiftly unliked it, meaning Skittles unliked it. We think this is actually, according to Cock and Cocktails, a great Alley Ship and other brands jumping on the Pride wagon should take note. But the thing is, it's a guy, Chris Stone, who has a huge, long, he's got to be girth less so than
Oh, he don't
length.
need to measure, honey.
He's about 10. Yeah, no ruler needed for him.
No
It is
ruler needed.
yeah, and it curves nicely, and he has this rainbow colors that looks more less from a rainbow, but more from a crystal, like you said, or from say a LED light that's shining on him. And he wrote in his tweet, "Taste the rainbow at Skittles." I would taste that
Ooh.
rainbow 100%. And yeah, absolutely. It's just so funny, Cody, that somebody from Skittles liked it. And I think they should. Do you think they're fired by now? They have to be because
They
Skittles
deserve
took
a
it
raise.
down.
That person deserves a raise. I almost went and bought some
Uh,
Skittles because of this, because companies are way too prudish, and I think that, liking a little bit of suggestive material on the internet is totally fine. It's not like this guy posted a picture of his penis
mm,
on this Skittles Twitter.
I'm
You
going to
don't agree?
disagree. I don't agree, and I'm going to go with Dr. Urologist Stefan Buntruck's
Okay.
explanation when he said, "Have fun, measure at home, not at work." It's that same theory where so many people get into trouble. Jeffrey Toobin comes to mind on CNN, although he has his job back, although lost another, is don't keep your sexual life private and you can't merge these two things. You can try and sometimes you'll get away with it, but I bet he is fired for doing this and Skittles had to take it down. It's just too close for comfort, and you really need to get a handle of your I'm sex positive and I am all for those things, but you can't do that at work. You can try, but it's a gamble, and 9 times out of 10 you will be clocked for it. We get clocked on our show doing promotions for Tags Podcast, and it's a promo for our show, and we might be targeted for lewd contact. And it's like, no, but it's for our podcast talking about sex positivity.
Yeah.
We are in the realm of the sexual health and realm of sex positivity, now you're going to be talking about a company that's going to be liking some with a guy's 10-inch dick out with the rainbow LED light on it, and come taste the rainbow. As much as I want to taste that rainbow, not suitable for work. Sorry.
Okay.
That was
Well,
I
we don't
crossed.
agree.
We don't. But well, I just say try it, but you're putting yourself at risk, and good luck, because HR is probably not going to have it, and you're
Mhm.
probably going to get fired.
Well, I'm
You
gonna
will
put my
get you will
penis
get
on
fired.
the Tags podcast
Yes, and it would be
Twitter.
welcomed. Absolutely. It would be welcomed. If you want to do that, I'm HR, I'm the host. I am the
I'm the host.
creator.
I'm HR.
I'm craft services. Apparently, I'm the bartender tonight, and I will absolutely okay it. But we are not Skittles, and we are not McDonald's or fucking Burger
Thank
King,
goodness,
and
honey.
yeah, or Facebook even.
Thank goodness, because we are not prudish.
Read some of those before I move on.
So Blake says maybe their social person thought that they were on their personal account when they liked it. And
Oh, you
yeah,
know how that goes, you guys.
yeah, you mess up and you think that you're on your personal
Ooh,
account and you're really on your work account. I
honey.
did think of that, which is what I
That's
responded. And then I thought again, and I was like, well, why would you like a Skittles if you work for Skittles? Why would you like a Skittles post on your personal account? Like, I would never, I would like nothing having to do
what?
with Skittles if I work for Skittles. I don't know.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
no. I think what Blake is saying is the
Hmm.
guy saw, maybe he was alerted about something and liked it because it's this huge 10-inch dick that he wants to suck.
Oh, maybe he didn't even
So
recognize that it
so
was
he
about
didn't
Skittles?
realize. No, no, I think he realized it, but he didn't realize he was on, like, you know how I have I have three
Yeah.
Instagram accounts,
Yeah.
but he liked it like Dave Melvin versus Skittles, which is the account that he probably runs as a
Mhm.
social media intern or whatever he
Okay.
is that we're naming him. So to Blake's point, he may have liked it. Like he got an alert and he probably follows Skittles and saw it and was like, "Oh, that's hot. I want to suck the rainbow." And liked it and said, "Oh shit, didn't
Yeah.
realize I'm on the Skittles account right now, which is my job." And that's how it got through the cracks, is what I think
Yeah.
happened.
Well, my point is, if I work for Skittles, I would try and stay as far away from anything having to do with Skittles, even if it was a 10-inch dick.
I love that. Yeah. Good point. Good point. Okay.
And then Blake also says we should do measuring demo vids, like measuring our
Oh,
penis on our Twitter.
we or we could do it in our Discord community for those
Oh,
people that want to join, and you can join like Blake is a member of by
look at
going to
you.
patreon.com/tags podcast, and maybe we will do this in the
Now,
mix.
audio only.
Okay, right. Because even Patreon has rules and regulations. Okay, well, we have to move on. And we're calling this next segment "To Post or Not to Post," or in our case, to talk or not talk about on our podcast. Kodi, I have a big mouth. It's big mouth. It's why I started the podcast, and I can't seem to keep anything of my personal life off the record when we're doing the show. It's probably why it makes our show so engaging. I know you know this about
Yep.
doing our show. Well, recently, Michael B. Jordan, which we talked about, one of our favorite actors, just broke up with Lauren Harvey, and they had about a 10-year age gap. She scrubbed all of her account of him
Mhm.
immediately. Well, now Michael B. Jordan Cloroxed all of his account from Lauren. And I was watching my morning show that I love to watch, and they were saying, you ain't got to scrub what you don't post,
Ooh.
taking a little jab at the fact that they maybe posted a little too much in their first year than they were ready to settle in with. Somebody else on the show said they feel take 6 months before posting anything with a new boo or beau. And I'm kind of not on this game. And I made the
Okay.
mistake or not of going to Providence, Rhode Island, having a great time with our co host, Jeremy Ross Lopez, meeting his friend and hooking up and bonding with his friend, who, by the
Mm-hmm.
way, I still think as of late, he is going to visit me here for New York Pride. And I'm really
Okay.
excited about it. Well, I talked maybe a little bit too much about it with Lincoln on episode 375 out this past Tuesday. And when you know, the guy said, "Oh, I'm going to listen to your podcast." And I thought, "Oh, no, please don't listen to episode 375." But I couldn't
Uh-huh.
say that because if you say that, he's going to listen to it. Where I knew I threw up of the mouth about how excited I was to see him. I was talking about chemistry that I felt with him.
Uh-huh.
And I was asking Lincoln, what was it like when you bonded with Peter and had that chemical reaction? Because I feel like
Wow.
I'm feeling that with this guy, and he's coming to visit me, and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah about this guy. Well, he listened to the episode.
Oh my God.
And one of my first texts this morning was from him, and he said, "Wow, somebody really likes me." And I wanted to crawl underneath my bed and never come out of the closet ever again. But I
Oh
thought,
my
but on
goodness.
the other hand, he joked and he said too cute, and he seemed to have a lighthearted. He knows probably what I do. He knows that I probably talk a lot more on the show. I haven't been blowing up his phone.
Mm-hmm.
He is the one that suggested coming out here for New York Pride, not the other way around.
Yep.
And I think he got it, and we moved on with other conversation. And last I checked, he's still coming out here. At least I'm checking my message. Yep, he's still coming out here. So I think I'm in the
You're
clear.
good. I think you're good.
But
24.
I
Well, no, it
guess
hasn't
to
been
wrap,
24 hours.
it has
Tomorrow
not
at,
been. I
at 9
know.
a.m.
Yeah, we will see. I'll keep you posted since I have diarrhea of the mouth, apparently, listening audience. But you know what? I'm of the mindset, live your life. I'm at a point right
Yeah.
now where who the fuck cares? I'm going to talk about if I met somebody that I'm excited to see, it's and hopefully they know that when I'm talking on the show, I'm a little bit larger than life
Yeah. It's a
than I
persona.
am in real life,
Yeah.
but not for not too much, you guys.
Yeah.
And that I am an adult, and it's
Exactly.
not that serious, but I am but I'm also not going to edit. The old me, Kodi, would have totally been, oh, shying away, waiting for every text. I mean, you know, and I
Oh,
think now I'm just like, no,
I'm
I'm
very
excited to
Marsha Brady. Oh,
very
that's so
Marsha
cute.
Brady. I think now I'm like, no, I'm excited to see him, and this is fun. But I'm also not blowing it out of proportion. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts on this? How much do you include Kodi, and how much did you
Wow.
post with Joe? A lot to cover there.
Well, he's in the room now. He says, "You're fantastic, Steve," first and foremost.
Thank you.
Um, I don't think there is a certain amount of time you should wait to post a picture or stories about your love or the person that you are dating. I think that whenever it feels right for you and your relationship, that is when you post, not a second sooner, not and you shouldn't wait until after that. I posted with Joe maybe about 5 months in, but I posted him to my story because those
Oh.
disappear in 24 hours, and it was his birthday, so I kinda had to post for him.
He's listening, remember.
I know. I told him to come back in the room because I'm about to talk about him, so I know he knows. He's almost home, so, Get ready, everybody. If he comes in here and smacks me,
Uh-oh. Did you put a lock on that door, a
I didn't. I
padlock?
didn't lock this door. I locked the front door. He might not be able to get inside.
Uh-oh.
But we didn't post our first. Oh, hi, baby.
Oh,
Did
hi.
you
Say
hear
hi,
that?
Joe. Yeah. I know. That was
That
like,
scared.
hey,
That
you
scared me. That was
smacked
like
that door
monster
open.
movie.
I would.
Woo! Almost jumped out of my skin.
This was Scream 5, 8, 9, 10, all in one. Yeah. Whoa.
Oh my. But we
Gather
didn't.
your thoughts, sweetie darling.
Woo, oh my goodness. It's in the house with me.
I'm going to shake a shake.
Shake a girl. We didn't post our first official picture until about 8 months in when we were on vacation together. So again, once you're comfortable, once you're ready, not a second sooner and not a moment later, because that's when you're proud about your love and that's when you feel like you want to express it. Should I move on to what I share on the podcast?
Yes.
When it comes to the podcast, I have carte blanche to say whatever I want to say. If I think that we have an agreement that if something is kind of sensitive or it might not be something that he wants from me to actually talk about, then we have an agreement that I go and ask him about it first.
Love it.
Yes. But otherwise I can say whatever I want to say. We also have an agreement, or he doesn't normally, I should say, listen to the show.
Okay.
Like I told him early on that I talk a lot about him and my previous relationships on the show. So I think that it's kind of like cheating in quotation marks for him to know so much about me and how I feel about him beforehand, because he can just listen to the show and find out my innermost feelings about whatever. And I think that a lot of the reason why he doesn't want to listen a lot of times is because he wants to let it happen organically. We can ask him. He's right. He's
If
like
he
in the
wants to
next room.
come in, bring him in.
he's
Absolutely.
also listening, so he can type in the room also. So
I agree with you too. I think part of the success or why we bond together is that we're so real and honest about, we're talking about relationships, gay sexuality, LGBT r- relationships, advice. And part of it is our own experiences. And if
yeah,
we're not real with our experiences on this show, then we're a crock of shit in my
yeah,
mind. And it's
and
always been. And so, yes, we produced the show. And if you would have saw our production meeting today, we were working it out. And it was so, I actually
we
loved our
always do.
production meeting. Yeah, we always do. And I love it. But we're talking and we give a lot of leeway for our viewpoints to, flourish as they flourish. We skip topics sometimes too that don't make
Yep.
it into the mix. But the reality is we know that we're not going to connect with anybody if we're talking on the surface.
Yeah.
And we are, so oftentimes that means that. It also means, though, if we're like you in a relationship and living with somebody, or if we're just met somebody, that we have to keep that in mind too. But in the end, hopefully we're evolved enough that we meet people that just get it and they're
Yeah.
cool with it. I love what you wrote, Alan W, watching us live. He says if he's gonna date a big star.
You wanted to read that comment, and I was like, "Get it, Alec. You better work in the comments."
Like Steve V, he needs to be able to handle the press coverage. It goes with the territory. Wouldn't bother me. Oh, thank you, Alan. Correct. Also being real, come through, guys, and we appreciate. Oh, we appreciate you as well. We get it. We know that our job is to produce a really good, hopefully entertaining,
Yeah.
educational, whatever you want it at interactive show. But it's not going to be interesting if we're not real on this show. It's just not,
Facts.
Kodi. And I think you and I got that early on.
Yeah. And we're not going to connect with the people in the way that we connect with the people if we're not being authentic to ourselves. Yes, it's kind of blown up a little bit because again, we have to be entertaining. But if we're not being authentic and real and honest, then we get a lot of letters about people saying, we love you. We think I it touched me when you said this or that. And that means so much to me. So I really come here and I strive to be my authentic self. So
It's also interesting because I've been guesting on a few podcasts. Right now, the thing in podcast universe is to guest on other podcasts
mhm.
and we'll have other people in our show. It's a way
Yeah.
to promote each other's work, like-minded podcasters, so that we just keep building each other's individual podcast worlds. And I'm here for that. And I was on a show recently at talking about this stuff, and it's interesting to hear how other people run their production schedules. I think everybody's surprised about how we run ours because we really push it up to this one's live, but
Yeah.
the Tuesday episode that drops is practically live because we really don't edit that one, and we do it hours before it drops live the next
Yeah.
morning. And there is not a lot of editing going on, and a lot of my fellow podcasters in podcast universe are, wow, I can't believe you do it. I mean, a lot of them really edit and do it weeks in advance. And, our thing is really hot topics in our LGBTQ universe and sex positivity. So, anyways, it's just how we all do it. We've
Yeah.
got to get to the
Different
last
strokes.
topics. Yeah. Do you want to do the been chatting with a guy Reddit thread?
Oh yeah, let's do that one.
Okay. This one caught my attention, and I want to know what you think. A recent Reddit Ask Gay Bros Over 30 posted the question: I've been chatting with a guy for a bit. Then he sent me a vid of him fucking another dude. Turned me off. Am I the weirdo? Well, let me read you a couple comments and then we'll discuss. I hate
Okay.
that, or when people expect me to have videos. I'm sorry for not having amateur porn. It was hilarious. It's hard to say if you are the weirdo or not, somebody else wrote. What is clear is that he's not your type, and that's the only part that's relevant. Somebody else wrote, I mean, was the video hot? Valid question. Valid
Yeah.
question. What were your thoughts when you heard this? Because I think I was telling you offline, let me just tell mine,
Go
that there
ahead.
was a guy in LA. I was talking about him recently. He was a former fuck buddy. He reached out to me recently and said, "Oh my God, we should hook up again." I told him I was going to be in the LA area and we were going to get together again, and it was all getting hot and bothered, and he would message me more than I would message him. And as we were building up to the moment when I was going to be in LA, he then threw in a curveball and said, would you be into this guy too, like the two of us topping you? And I thought, Wait, but I was here for you. I was going to have sex with you." And it was as if he wanted to bring in this secondary guy. And that totally turned me off. He sent me a picture of the guy, and I need to unlock the door for Kodi so he can grab a spot.
It's you, computer guys. I totally
Yeah. Okay. And you told me to lock the door. Let me finish my story, Cody.
go
And
ahead, go
then,
ahead.
and so I think by this guy that I'm talking about building up so much that he wanted to get together with me again threw me off by saying, "Do you want this other hot top guy to get into the mix?" And I was like, you know what? I just really want to be with you first. Let's talk about that later. And I think sometimes people get in their head with this stuff, Cody, in
Mhm.
that they're not enough. They don't give themselves credit enough that they're enough for
Yeah.
you. Stop making it about bells and whistles and this other top and this other thing. That can all layer in down the road. But how about you and I just connect first and let's see how that goes? Because I can have an orgy at any point in time and we can do that, the D's down the road, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts?
I think that when I see pictures or videos of somebody that I intend to date, that really is a turn off for me. It really kind of that is not something that I'm really interested in seeing. I might be the weirdo too. I think that it's I might be too possessive for something like that. We already have talked about how jealous I am on this show. So I think ad nauseum.
No,
But
no.
but so I think that that would definitely turn me off. But your story, because I did know we said it in our production
Yeah.
meeting already. So even though I was off the air for 2 minutes, I do know what Steve said. I think I would be into that situation because I would know what what it was, and I would be down for the threesome if I was still single. But I'm not single, so I'm not down for
But
the
the thing
threesome.
is, in my situation, I just wanted to get together with him and
Yeah,
experience
and
that.
that's a
In the
different
end, he
situation.
was a big
Yeah.
flake anyways. And so it didn't even matter if it was the three of us or even
Hmm.
the two of us. He couldn't even commit to that. And so he was a big, what we call breadcrumber, where he
Hmm.
thread me along. And ultimately, he was a no show in the end. And so he was a big flake. But back to
Yeah.
this story of when someone sends a video, is that a turn off if you can recall back in the day or not? And I guess, yeah, tell us that. And then we got to
Yeah,
wrap
it
it
was
up.
definitely a turn off. I think that by sending a video, you're telling me that, you know, this is what you're interested in having sex with more than just me.
Yeah.
So that to me is a red flag for if I'm interested in you. So I think that I would be very turned off when it came to that.
Well, happy Pride, everybody. We are out of time. Too late to do our final topic, but that's okay.
Aw.
Do you want to do it anyway?
Yeah, let's just go through it.
Okay, we'll do Thirst Trap. Can you put it in the
I
mix,
put it all in
Kodi?
there already.
Let's do it because out of 26 gay porn stars, Straight Up Gay Porn Weekly asks the question, who took the best photo or video of the week? And oh my goodness, I didn't even have a chance to look at these,
That's why you
but
didn't
you
want to
know
do it. You're
what?
like, I didn't even look.
But I'm gonna just give it to Chris Damned, the first one,
Oh, okay.
minus the toilet paper on the sink. Put that where it belongs, child, and get rid of that brown. I don't like a brown towel.
Oh my
But
goodness.
Chris Damned looks really
You are
good
so
in this
specific.
rank ass
You know what you want.
bathroom.
Why
Yeah.
does he have a toilet paper, a roll of toilet paper
That
there?
is,
That's just
I'm
not.
like, just push it to the floor. Meanwhile, I am really into tattoos right now. Again,
Mhm.
I've always been into them, but like I said before, I'm an evolving character, and right
Yeah.
now they're just getting my attention. Chris Damned is tatted up, but strategically with really good artwork, including an entire saying on his right quad that is really lovely. And he's nicely hung, flaccid,
Oh
even,
my.
but I just here for it. He's got the right look, the right cropped beard, the right tats, and he's looking delicious. Minus the tattoo on, I mean, minus the toilet paper on the,
Yes.
yeah. Who is your favorite? And everybody else weigh in.
My vote goes to Adrian Hart and Sean Austin. They're sitting by the pool
You love a
and
good
they're
duo.
I love a good duo. It just reminds me of me and my boyfriend. That's why. He's still in
Oh.
the room, y'all. They're sitting by the pool. They're lounging, and Sean is looking at Adrian's long schlong, and the water is glistening. The sun is glistening off of them like they just got out of the pool. And Sean is looking at Adrian's penis like I look at chocolate cake or barbecue. Barbecue.
Can we talk about Chase Archangel?
Who?
Archangel? Can we talk about Chase
How far
Archangel?
down is he?
He's midway through, but he's got a beautiful thick
Of
cock,
of
but he's
the
got all
collector?
those pop star what are they called?
Archangel. The Funko Pops.
Yeah, he's got tons of those, and
Yeah,
it's
you love those.
I love those. His are in as the box. I have 3
Yeah.
of them outside of the box, but I'm kind of like want to play with his toys in more ways than one.
Yes, double entendre. You better get it.
Anybody else saying anything before we move on?
Blake
Or
says Charlie Cherry, and Daddy 234 says Tanner Reed. He could sit on Daddy 234's face any
any
day.
day.
Any day.
Love it. Thanks for playing. And I will post this on tagspodcast.com in show notes for episode 376. Check that out. As we talked about so much, we want to wish everyone a very special gay pride this season, particularly if you're here in New York City. But if not, it's still Gay Pride Month, and we really wish you celebrate in make the most of it this particular year. It's super important. I want to wish my co-host happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
You can follow him. He's a life coach at KMD Coaching or on his personal account, Mr. Maurice. And follow us at Tags Podcast. Happy Pride, you guys.
Happy
Cheers,
Pride, everyone.
everybody. And we mean that from the bottom of our hearts. Absolutely.
That's right.
Happy Pride. And in the meantime, continue having hot, gay
Gay sex. Yes.
Yes, honey.